The political feud between the Minister of Transportation Chibike Amechi and Senator Magnus Abe is far from ending. The one political soulmates are engrossed in a bitter political rivalry over who calls the shots in the administrative structure of the All Progressive Congress in Rivers. The two political gladiators once enjoyed good political relationship, having helped each other in times of need. Senator Abe is one of the politicians in the state who stood behind Amechi throughout his political travails in his quest to become the governor of the state on the platform of the People's Democratic Party (PDP). Throughout the legal battles that eventually saw Amechi reclaiming his mandate as the governor of the oil-rich state, Abe and so many others were there for him. Hence, when Amechi reclaimed his mandate, he carried Abe along by appointing him as the secretary to the state government (SSG) and later helped him to clinch the Rivers South East Senatorial District ticket, where he served in the upper chamber for 8 years. However, trouble began between the two politicians in 2018 when they could not resolve their differences that arose from the ward and state congresses of the party. Abe was aggrieved that many of his supporters who obtained forms were disenfranchised during the congresses to elect the party's flag bearer for all elective positions in the state. Their differences ended up in a legal battle that denied the party's candidates participation in the governorship, national, and state assemblies election in 2019. This polarized their bases and pitched their supporters against each other. The two, on several occasions, set up a parallel leadership and factions of the party in the state, with each group issuing directives. While Amechi used Isaac Ogbobula to run his own faction, Abe pitched his own tent with Igo Aguma to pilot the affairs of his own faction. Aguma was one of the strong supporters of Amechi until he pitched his tent with Abe over what he described as injustice in the party and has been calling the shots in the leadership of the party in the state based on a court verdict which handed over the party structures to him. The latest in the personality clash between Amechi and Abe came forth on December 8, 2020, when the national leadership of APC dissolved all the state caretaker committees of the party. The dissolution saw the emergence of Amechi's right-hand man, Ogbobula, as the new caretaker committee chairman. However, Aguma has refused to abide by the party's decision and insists that he will continue to pilot its affairs in the state. Aguma, in a press statement signed by his spokesman Livingstone Wechi, said the dissolution of all the structures of the party by the National Caretaker Committee had no effect on the state chapter because of pending cases in court. Wechi dismissed as nullity the inauguration of Ogbobula as the caretaker chairman and his swearing in of a caretaker committee for the local government areas and wards. Describing Ogbobula and others involved in the ceremonies as impostors and members of Rotimi Amechi political group, Wike'S said Rivers APC had no structure apart from the state's caretaker committee consisting of statutory members of the party led by Aguma as declared by the court. He said the so-called inauguration on December 13th of local government chapters of Amechi political group by an impostor, Mr. Isaac Ogbobula, has nothing to do with the All Progressive Congress APC in Rivers State. For emphasis, the inauguration is that of an aggrieved set of people within the APC in Rivers State, consisting followers of His Excellency Right Honorable Rotimi Amechi, the Minister of Transportation. The National Executive Committee of the APC during the last NEC meeting announced the dissolution of all existing structures of the party from wards, local government, states, zones to the national level, and directed that all existing structures should now function as caretaker committees. It is on record that APC has no existing structure in Rivers State at all levels apart from the State Caretaker Committee, led by Right Honorable Igo Aguma, made up of his statutory members, whose chairmanship, as declared by the court, is still subsisting. Wike'S further said there were pending appeals up to the Supreme Court on the leadership of the party in Rivers State, and that none of the cases had overturned the subsisting judgment of the court that declared Aguma, the acting caretaker committee, chairman of the APC in the state. He said, "It is important to note that the desperate actions of Isaac Ogbobula and the Amechi political group is only aimed at misleading the unsuspecting public, and a section of the APC who are not well informed on the true position of things. Isaac Agboola knows that he lacks the political pedigree and legitimacy to be a chairman of APC in Rivers State. His actions best qualify him as a stooge and appendage of the godfather of APC Rivers, Right Honorable Rotimi Amechi, whose glory is down away with, now living in the same past glory. Similarly, Aguma said the emergence as the caretaker committee chairman of the party was as a result of a court pronouncement and argued that the decision of the court was yet to be reversed by a higher court, insisting that the APC next pronouncement was not binding on the Rivers chapter. The face-off between Abe and Amechi became fierce penultimate week when the constituted committee led by Agboola suspended Aguma's faction over alleged anti-party activities. Agboola, who announced the suspension, said the party had recommended some persons for expulsion, noting that the steps were geared towards moving the party forward, but Aguma dismissed the suspension, saying Agboola and his group did not have the mandate to exist. The spokesperson of the Amechi faction, Chief Ogbonna Nweke, had warned that the party would not tolerate acts of destabilization. Meanwhile, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has been alleged to be benefiting from the Fed between the APC factions. The major benefactor of the Amechi and Abe Fed is Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State. He may not have come out openly to identify himself with any of the contending parties in the crisis, but the governor would have wished that the crisis continued so that his party PDP would remain more united and relevant in the state. Although unconfirmed reports have it that Governor Wike may be sympathetic to the Abe faction, given his closeness to the former senator and board member of NNPC, the failure of the two politicians to reconcile their differences and put their party in the right shape has given Wike an edge over them. Political parties, APC and PDP, they are always on the two opposite sides. That's why PDP is called the opposition party. Anyways, right now, the crisis is still lingering. This crisis that started in the Rivers APC chapter since last year. But the surprising and the shocking part is that Wike has been dragged in as a benefactor of this crisis. Guys, let's hear your take down below in the comment section. Thank you once again for staying tuned. Please don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe. Till I come your way again with more updates. Bye for now, and God bless.